So we just finished putting our modifications on these sleds earlier this week, and I'm kind of a nerd about this kind of stuff, so I'm super curious to see how they stack up now that we've shed some weight. This is my buddy Cody's sled. This is a 2021 Khaos 850 with a 155 by 2.75 track, so it is belt drive. I'll go over the list of modifications on this first. This has a skins hood, it has a skins brake lever, it has these floppy gauntlet handguards, it has a handlebar bag, it has a skins free flow front end, it has Fox QS3 shocks front and rear, it has a SLP cam, it has DuraPro ski rubbers, which that one we just blew out yesterday when we were riding. That'll have to get warranted, but the weight should be the same. It has a skins seat, skins brake lever, if I didn't, I don't know if I already mentioned that, but skins seat. And then it has 7.5 or 8.5 inches cut off the tongue with a Mountain Tech tongue cut kit. It has an Avid rear bumper, and I believe that is all the modifications on this machine. Oh, as a DuraPro tether, because that's aftermarket, because Polaris doesn't think it's necessary to have a tether on a mountain sled. Who knows why? This sled is a 2020, some expert is mine. It has a skins hood, it has grip and rip. I did just the upper A-arm bracing on this. Has a Diamond S titanium cam, has a handlebar bag as well, nothing in it. It has a Munster finger throttle, it has a brake reservoir guard. It does have shock start, so that's 2 pounds. And then it has the skins T-motion lockout on it as well. And it has, oh, one more thing, it has a billet aluminum steering block, because I didn't like the plastic factory one. It kind of had more slop than I care for. Yeah, I'm super curious to see how these stack up now that we shed some of the heavier things off of them as far as the most bang for your buck. Probably the only thing that is expensive that didn't shed a lot of weight would be the Fox floats, but Cody's all about the Fox floats, so I'm curious to see how they weigh in. So the Polaris lost quite a bit more weight than what I would have guessed, but I will show you what it looks like. $488.8, so that is exactly 24 pounds lighter than when I weighed it previously, bone stock. And once again, that's full of fuel, oil, and coolant. That's pretty stinking light, so we will see how the Skidoo looks. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit bummed out with the result of the weigh-in, but I will show you what it looks like. $511.1, so it was $534.6. So, you know, it took 23.5 pounds off of it, which is great, but apparently Cody took a little bit more weight off than I did somehow. So the sled is still, you know, about 23-pound difference between the two, even the way it is set up like this. And they're both full of fuel, oil, and coolant. So even after taking 23 pounds off, I would guess, I think it'd be the Fox shocks. I'm not sure. Cody was saying those were quite a bit lighter when he put those on. So he still dropped, you know, I dropped 23 pounds. He probably dropped, I think, 24 pounds is what he lost on the Polaris. So there's a comprehensive weigh-in for you. I plan to do a pretty thorough review on the Gen 4 chassis, or more specifically this sled, versus the Khaos, or, you know, the Axis I owned previously. Just to give a good idea of what they're like riding in the trees and just in the terrain that we ride in. So plan to do that later, but I want to get some more seat time on the Skidoo before I give it a good thorough overview and have a good idea of what it's like. You know, I got a pretty good sample size on the Polaris chassis. I'd like to have a similar sample size on the Skidoo chassis. Also, a couple things I forgot to mention. This does have skins adjustable brake lever as well, which doesn't really change the weight, but it's a modification that I added. I forgot to mention. Both of these sleds also probably have a ½ pound of pine needles and twigs lodged in nooks and crannies throughout, so that also probably should be disclosed. For all the Skidoo people out there who are probably not impressed with the video, I mean, obviously I own a Skidoo, but it is what it is. Those are super light. This does have shot start, I'm aware, so that's a 2-pound weight penalty. This is a 3-inch track, I'm also aware of that. That's a 2.75. Skidoo doesn't make a 2.75. You could go to the 2.5 and lose a bit of weight as well. But this is the sled I got, and then that you could still get a belt drive in a 3-inch. So there's still, you know, there are some slight discrepancies between the two, you know, models, but they're pretty close. You could shed quite a bit. You could shed 4.5 pounds off of this sled if you put a TKI belt drive on it, but it's $800 for 4 pounds. Compared to like the hood, I lost almost 12 pounds, and that was $700. So your money goes a lot farther on the first couple add-ons. You could do carbon fiber rails, do a different, you know, titanium rear skid, like the suspension arms, that kind of stuff. So there's, you know, on both sleds, you could shed like a lot more weight. But this is just the, you know, the initial big heavy things we wanted to strip off. I'm surprised on that. So the skins hoods you only take off about 3 pounds. So it had to be going from those Velocity Khaos shocks to the Fox floats, because normally those put on a little bit weight, but apparently they did, you know, Fox did shed some weight off their shocks this year, and I mean, apparently that shows pretty good. So I don't know, the outcome is not what I would like to see. It'd be nice to have this. I wanted to have them within 10-15 pounds, you know, but it also, I mean, it still runs great, works great. It is heavier, but I'm still pretty pleased with it so far. I only have about 8 rides on it, so I still got quite a bit more seat time to get in on it before I'm anywhere close to as comfortable as what I was on that chassis, because I rode that for quite a while. But I do like it a lot so far. So until the more thorough review later, over and out.